I am likely to watch and am waiting and seeking for the March 14th matchup between Jaron Ennis and Custio Clayton on the undercard match of Charlo versus Brian Castano. Absolutely fantastic undercard and main event. We'll talk about it now. What's happening, everyone? I am your host, Nice, and welcome back to the Fight Room. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you do. For the latest boxing news, feedback, and entertainment. Great card headline on May 14th from Showtime. Charlo will face Brian Castano for the rematch for Undisputed 154-pound champion. And on the undercard, we got the rising star from Philly, Jaron Boots Ennis, the enforcer, as I call him, facing Custio Clayton for the undercard. Great undercard, great matchup for the main event. Let's talk about it. First, I want to talk about Jaron Ennis and Custio Clayton. Good matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that Custio Clayton had a draw against Sergey Lipinets, and Jaron Ennis fought Lipinets after and stopped him. Now, with all that being said, does it mean that Jaron can stop Custio Clayton early on? No. But can he? Absolutely. Now, my breakdown on this matchup. Custio Clayton is a good fighter. Good boxer, whatnot. And, he knows how to move and use the ring, knows how to box, and so forth. But Jaron Ennis is just one of those type of fighters that you see just once every 15 years, 10 years, or whatnot. So what I'm saying is this: a good matchup. Jaron Ennis is very superior. He has a great skill set. He is very determined and very focused and has a good high ring IQ. And I would say that with Custio Clayton, he has a good ring IQ. So the stronger fighter, in my opinion, is Jaron Ennis. Jaron Ennis has an exceptional knockout ratio. We know that. 28 with 26 by knockout. Superb boxer all the way around. Knows how to move. Knows how to jab. Very quick. Very agile. Very sharp. Great matchup for the undercard. My thoughts on his matchup: I believe that Custio Clayton has his hands tied against Jaron Ennis. Jaron is going to come in early on and press the action because that's what he likes to do. Jaron is a good fighter, good boxer, knows how to use the ring if he wants to, but he likes to give and take, so to speak. He likes to, So with that being said, is it a good thing for him to do that with Custio Clayton? We'll see. We'll see. Because Custio knows how to box, knows how to move, and knows how to jab and whatnot. And he looks pretty strong. He's pretty strong. And it's going to be a good matchup. Now, Custio Clayton is 34 years old. His alias is the War Machine. And he's from Canada. An orthodox boxer. He's 5'9" with a 69.5-inch reach. He is undefeated with 19 wins with 12 by knockout. So not a bad fighter, not a bad record at all. Now we take a look at Jaron Ennis, 24 years old, a young man. So we know that Custio Clayton has a 10-year, in life. Boots, that's his alias. Orthodox, he's 5'10", so Boots is taller in 2 inches. And he has a great reach with 74 advantage, my people, my friends. So a good matchup. I think that Boots shall overcome Custio Clayton, and I believe that he has the skills, tools, and regimen and power, absolutely, to put a stop to Custio Clayton. Now, will it come to fruition? I am going to say that I believe so. That's just my thoughts on the co-feature bout. Now let's get into the main event. Charlo versus Brian Castano, the rematch. A great fight, ladies and gentlemen. We know the first fight was good. We know that the first fight, in some cases, people seen Castano win the matchup. Some say it could have been a draw, and the draw was okay. And it is what it is, right? I say Brian Castano could have, they could have gave it to him. But that's not the case. Now we have this rematch. It's going to be a better fight, I believe. Now, these two guys know each other now. Brian Castano has been stunned twice by Charlo. And I'm going to say this, Jermell under pressure is a good fighter. when he knows that he has to implement something to make something happen. In other words, if he's down on the cards, he knows how to pull himself together and is able to manage and pull away with something that'll change the whole genre of the match. So Brian Castano is going to come in knowing that the power of Jermell, and then likewise Jermell knows that Brian has some power as well because he got stunned by him. Am I right? So a good matchup. Is it going to be the same though? Will Brian Castano implement his pressure and his aggression against Charlo? And I believe that he is. Why? Because Brian Castano is the type of fighter. He just cannot change who he is. That's how he fights. So what I'm saying is this. He's going to bring sort of the same fight, the pressure fighting or whatnot. Now he is going to, of course, adjust a little bit, maybe calm down on the pressure, but still be passive aggressive, if you know what I mean, and implement his jab to set up for the combinations. Charlo needs to use his jab, his reach, and his footwork. And Charlo needs to keep this fight in the squared circle in the middle of the ring. He cannot put his back against the ropes in this matchup at all, because of course the better output in that situation will come to Castano. So Charlo needs to implement his jab more, because in the first fight he did exceptionally well, but he hesitated quite a lot in throwing the jab and setting it up. So what he needs to do is set it up early on, jab, keep the fight in the middle of the ring no matter what, and he'll have a better chance in coming away with the victory. So for Castano, has to do the same thing, just adjust a little bit, try to use the jab. He's the shorter guy. He cannot reach Charlo. So in other words, he has to come in with a lunging right because he's short. So it's kind of hard for him to jab in. He will have to, lunge in. So he does pretty well when he lunges in with the right first and then throws that left. Then he's inside of Charlo, and then he's able to throw them combinations. So I think he's going to have to implement the same type of fight that he did in the first one, but just adjust a little bit, make sure that he uses his defense, because he has a great defense as well when he uses it. Sometimes, he forgets to put his hands up and he gets caught. So if he can adjust to that, maybe he can pull away with the victory. A great matchup, great fights for May 14th, Showtime. Steven Espinoza doing his thing for Showtime. Don't forget to tune in, ladies and gentlemen. You already know, I am your host, Nice. Comment, like, subscribe. Most of all, don't forget to share the fight room.